Hello, and welcome back. Tonight, we will explore one of the oldest and most vital invitations in all of philosophy. It is a call to turn our gaze away from the distractions of the world and gently, courageously turn it inward. It is a journey into the art of knowing yourself. So much of our modern life is lived on autopilot. We follow routines, we adopt beliefs, we chase goals, often without pausing to ask the simplest, most important questions. Why? Is this true? Is this good? Is this who I really am? We live our lives like a book that we have never taken the time to read. Before we begin to gently turn these pages together, please take a moment to like and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy these videos and find value in these explorations. And do share in the comments, where does this idea resonate with you in your own life? It's incredibly insightful to hear the perspectives from all walks of life. Now, let us proceed. There is no need for grand conclusions or perfect answers tonight. The goal is simply to create a quiet space for gentle questions. Let your body relax, let your mind soften, and allow yourself the simple, profound gift of your own curiosity as we walk through the sunlit squares of ancient Athens with our guide, Socrates. Picture the bustling marketplace of ancient Athens, the agora. The air is filled with the scent of olives and baked bread, the sound of merchants calling out their wares, the murmur of poets and politicians debating under the warm Grecian sun. And moving through this crowd is a man who looks entirely unremarkable. He's not wealthy, not handsome, he wears a simple tunic and walks barefoot on the dusty ground. This is Socrates. But when he speaks, the world around him seems to hush. He's not giving speeches, he's not lecturing, he's simply asking questions. He approaches a powerful general and asks, "You are a master of courage. Can you please tell me what is courage?" He stops a respected politician and asks, "You speak so eloquently of justice. Can you help me understand what is justice?" He called himself a gadfly, a small, annoying insect sent to sting the great sleepy horse of the Athenian state into thinking. He did not claim to have any special knowledge himself. In fact, his wisdom was rooted in a startling admission. While others paraded their certainty, Socrates declared that he knew only one thing for sure, that he knew nothing at all. This was not false humility, it was a profound, intellectual honesty. He realized that most of us walk around with heads full of second-hand opinions, vague definitions, and unexamined assumptions. And his mission, his art form, was to reveal these inconsistencies, not to humiliate people, but to free them from the prison of pretending to know. The conversation with Socrates was often frustrating, confusing, but for those who were sincere, it was like a window being opened in a stuffy room, letting in the fresh air of truth. To claim, "I know that I know nothing," is one of the most liberating statements one can make. Think of the energy we spend defending our opinions, proving we are right, holding on to our certainties as if they are the very foundation of our identity. It is exhausting. It closes us off to new information. It makes us brittle. Socrates demonstrated a different way to be. His mind was not a fortress to be defended, it was an open field to be explored. By starting from a place of not knowing, he was free. Free to be curious, free to listen without judgment, free to follow a question wherever it might lead, without being attached to the destination. This is the essence of a philosophical life. It is not about accumulating a library of facts and answers. It is about cultivating a state of perpetual, wondrous inquiry. When the oracle at Delphi proclaimed that no man was wiser than Socrates, he was baffled. He knew he was ignorant. But then he realized the meaning. He was the wisest because he alone was aware of his own ignorance. Everyone else was simply pretending. This is a gentle invitation to us. Where in our lives are we pretending? What beliefs do we hold that we have never truly examined for ourselves? What opinions do we state with absolute certainty, without ever having honestly questioned their foundation? Letting go of this need to be right is a profound relief. It allows us to be softer, more open, more humble. It allows us to truly learn, not just from teachers, but from everyone and everything. It is the true beginning of wisdom. The Socratic method is not just for the marketplaces of Athens. It is a beautiful, gentle tool we can use within our own minds, an inner dialogue, a practice of self-inquiry. So right now, in this quiet space, let us ask a few gentle questions. There is no need to find an answer. The value is in the sincere asking. Let's begin with a simple one. Think of the concept of success. Our world offers many definitions: wealth, fame, power. But let's ask ourselves, as Socrates would, what is a successful life for me? Is it defined by what I acquire, or by the person I become? Is it measured by external approval, or by my own inner sense of peace and integrity? Just let the question echo, without grasping for an answer. Now, let's hold another word, the word love. We use it every day, but what is it truly? Is it a feeling, an action, a commitment? When I say I want to be more loving, what does that actually look like in my behavior tomorrow? How can my actions be a truer reflection of the love I hold in my heart? And finally, let us gently approach the idea of a good life. What does it mean for me to live well? Is it a life of comfort, a life of adventure, a life of service, a life of creativity? What is the unique music that my soul wishes to play? The act of asking these questions honestly, gently, and without pressure is the act of examining your life. You are tending to the garden of your own soul. You are ensuring that the life you are living on the outside is in harmony with the truths you are discovering on the inside. This is what Socrates meant. An unexamined life is a life lived by accident. It is a life shaped by external forces, by cultural norms, by the expectations of others, by unconscious habits. It is a life where we are not the true authors of our own story. An examined life is a life lived with intention. It is a life where you have chosen your values consciously, where you have decided for yourself what goodness and justice and love mean to you, and you strive, imperfectly but sincerely, to live in alignment with that inner compass. This is not always easy. It requires courage. Socrates' relentless questioning of authority and tradition ultimately led to his being condemned to death by the city he loved. But he chose to die rather than abandon his philosophical path. Because for him, a life without inquiry, a life without this inner integrity, was no life at all. We do not have to face such a dramatic choice. For us, the courage is quieter. It is the courage to spend an evening in quiet reflection instead of seeking distraction. It is the courage to admit "I don't know" in a world that rewards false certainty. It is the courage to change your mind when presented with a better argument. It is the courage to live a life that is true to you, even if it doesn't look like the lives everyone else is living. As you drift towards sleep, let these gentle questions rest in your mind. Do not struggle with them. Think of them as seeds you have just planted. Sleep is the quiet, dark, fertile soil where they can begin to germinate. Trust that your deeper wisdom will tend to them, and know that by simply beginning to ask, you are already living a richer, more authentic, and more profoundly meaningful life. You are honoring the philosopher within, and that is a life worth living.